Now, to show you an example in first impressions, everyone knows who John F. Kennedy was? How about Richard Nixon? Yeah, both former presidents. But in 1960, Richard Nixon was the existing vice president, and it was his election to lose to become the president. John F. Kennedy was a little-known senator from Massachusetts. Nobody really knew who he was. This was the very first ever televised debate. So 150 some odd million people who were watching on TV had never ever seen Richard Nixon or John F. Kennedy live. Certainly not speaking about the relevant topics. Let's see, if I'm looking at the first impression of my next president, who I might vote for. I'm about to show you the opening of the televised debate.
Television and radio stations in the United States and their affiliated stations are proud to provide facilities for a discussion of issues in the current political campaign by the two major candidates for the presidency. The candidates need no introduction. The Republican candidate, Vice President Richard M. Nixon, and the Democratic candidate, Senator John F. Kennedy. According to rules set by the candidates themselves, each man shall make an opening statement of approximately 8 minutes.
So, first 30 seconds that 150 million people watched. What did we see between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon? Hey, you know what? Anyone know what Richard Nixon's nickname was? Tricky Dick Nixon. All right? Always came across as a little dishonest. All right? JFK, no one ever saw who he was. But in the first 30 seconds, without saying a word, that tells a million pictures, doesn't it? So, we all know what happened, right? John F. Kennedy won in a landslide. How does that happen? Because John F. Kennedy hired the Tony Award-winning director Arthur Penn off of Broadway to help him perfect his communication, leveraging performance-based delivery techniques. Because he knew his first impression and the rest of his communication, he was presenting to the entire country. Whereas Nixon, it looked like he was prepared to deliver to 30 people in the studio. So, it wasn't just the first impression. Obviously, as they went through the rest of the debate, Nixon knew all the facts and figures. Shoot, he was president. He knew all the policies. But who do you think delivered better? Who do you think was more calm and more relaxed, more presidential? The guy who became president.